Good morning. Yeah, good morning, guys. I hope you guys are doing good. Let's see who's jumping on my live video today. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are all doing good. My voice has gone a bit hoarse this morning. It's been like that all week pretty much, but it is what it is. Who's coming this morning? Let me see if I can let's see who else is coming here so we can continue our conversations from yesterday. Ooh, I see one person on here, 2 people. Yay! Keep coming, guys. Good morning. As you come, do the do. You know how we do it. Spread the love. Share the video. Say hello. Let me know you can hear me. I hope you guys can hear me. Yes, you should be able to. Can you guys hear me? Say hi. Love hearts. Keep them coming. Let's see. Who's here? Let's see. Any love hearts coming forth? Oh, 2 people. Wow. Let's see who's coming up here, guys. Good morning. Please share the video as you jump on the video. Share the video with somebody else. And gonna share it to a few places also and see if anyone's interested in this chat this morning. Good morning, and I hope you're doing good. Today I have a bit more time for us to hang out for a little bit, and then go from there. So good morning if you're here. Let me see. There's no comments coming in, no love hearts, nothing. So I'm not quite sure whether you guys can hear me or not. Can somebody let me know that you guys can actually hear me so that we can start talking? Good morning. Okay, let's see. Good morning. Who else is here? Wow, like you guys, what's happening? Happy Friday. What's happening, guys? Okay, let's see. I guess I'm just hanging out with myself this morning, which is fine. Good morning. So yesterday we started having a conversation about the lessons that I've learned, having spent the last 18 years of my life living abroad and away from family and my nearest and dearest and all of that, and the huge lessons that I have learned, which I hope would inspire people to perhaps do things a little differently to how some of us that have done them in the past have now learned the lessons and are trying to right the wrongs. I told you guys yesterday a little bit about my own story. And I also mentioned that there is another way that a lot of us end up being in the West, right? Some people would come in and wouldn't necessarily be documented people, if you know what I mean. And then eventually you end up being able to legitimately work, have an income with your own credentials, and start a life, right? But for a lot of people, that can take a very long time to happen. 10 years, 15 years, 20 years for some people to get from being undocumented to documented and being able to live a life, if you guys understand what I'm saying. Now, the African mindset or the Afro-Caribbean mindset living in the West is we've left home, we've left the things that we love, we've left the things that make us comfortable, and we're now coming to a place that has milk and honey flowing. And we've come here to make money, to save money, and then maybe have a better life in the future. That is the mindset that a lot of us have, leaving our homes, leaving our countries of origin to go somewhere else to start life over, right? It was the way for me. I left home at a tender age, and I said to myself, oh yeah, I'm going to live abroad. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to make so much money, and then I'm going to save it. And when I've made enough, I'm going to leave, go back to my country of origin, and then have the best life ever. Right? That was the mindset. That's how I came. And that was the thinking that I came with. Except that 18 years later, I'm still here. Actually, I've moved from one country to another country and trying to make a life there. I never ended up going back home to that place that I said I was going to. And all those dreams that I have are kind of sitting on the burner, right? And not really happening. The thing is that the mindset is very different or very wrong for us when we're coming, because somehow we feel that we can put our lives or the time that we have into some kind of a box and close it and stop the clock from ticking, right? And then we can go and be in this hustling box and hustle for 20 years. And we never set out for it to be 20 years. We always think that it's just going to be a few short years. It's just going to be 2 years or 1 year or whatever, and I'll make all this money and I'll save up all this money, and then I'll go back and have the life of my dream. Except that for a lot of us, that never seems to happen. That day never seems to come, right? When I set out at that age of 23, coming back from the sunshine, my parents, my siblings, my family, my friends, my classmates, everything. I left all of that, my comfort zone, to become an adult living in an uncomfortable zone in England by myself as a young adult. I never thought that I was going to be there for any length of time before I could go back and be with my family again, right? And for me, apart from professional stuff, the prime reason for me leaving was to sort out a few health issues that I was having. I had struggled for years with, to see if I could keep handles on it and find ways of coping with those issues. And once that was done, it was going to be time for me to go back home and be with my family. 5 years came and went, and there was still no solution, permanent solution to the problem. And I was still living abroad, right? Nothing had changed. If anything, my life was starting to get a lot more complicated then. So this whole dream of leaving and going back home seemed far in the very far distant future than it was when I first set out. And that was the point that I was trying to make yesterday, that a lot of us have been caught up in that thing of thinking that we can have this life that we put away. And then when we're done, when we're made, when we have money, when we're successful, right? When we have money, then we can go back and unlock that life and suddenly take the time out again and press start. And then our life was the life days that we have left can start ticking from that point onwards. But I've come to realize that the sweetness of the pudding is in the eating. So I'm working hard. I want to save money. I'm dreaming of this fabulous life that is in my future. But I'm forgetting that this is the life. This is it. You know, you're living the life as you're trying to live this life and have the money to have that dream life that you're dreaming about. Look, guys, I left my parents when I was 23 years, 7 months, and 2 days old, right? It's almost been 18 years exactly since I left home, right? And I don't look anything like I did 18 years ago when I left home. Much younger model, right? I had boobs that were still in the right places, that didn't need no support to stay where I wanted them to be. Today I have gray hairs. The list is endless. So the point I'm making here is that if you put yourself or live in this false sense of security that you're going to hustle for a time, but then life is going to be waiting for you till you've made it and you have money and everything about you is done, before you actually start living the moment by moment and trying to find enjoyment in the midst of your hustle, you will grow up and have all this so-called money, but you'll be so bitter and angry and upset and frustrated because all of a sudden you find that you're 60 years old and you might not even have that energy and strength to do the things that you were dreaming that you wanted to do one day. Because now, unfortunately, you're diabetic or you've got high blood pressure or you've got something that is preventing you from having that best life. So there might be somebody watching me, listening to me now and thinking that, so what is this girl suggesting? Is she saying that work hard and make the money and squander it all and misbehave and mess up? Is that what she's saying? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm saying that it doesn't make any sense to have £50,000 in your bank account as your savings and be living in a shared house with 5 other people in 3 rooms, sharing 2 bathrooms or 1 bathroom, the size of a closet, in the name of hustling, so that you can build this huge mansion in Africa or the Caribbean or wherever it is you want to retire or go live one day, and not enjoy the moment by moment, because life as it is passing you by. There are lots of 40, 50-year-olds that are still living their student life. They go work hard, 15, 16-hour days. They come sleep for 4 hours, and then they're getting ready to hustle for that next job, right? I have heard so many stories about the diaspora. If I wanted to start telling you guys, we'll be here all day. But one of them that made an indelible impression on me is this. A guy who comes from Ghana to come live in England, right? He hustled and worked hard. This guy was doing 3 jobs. He'd wake up in the morning at 5 in the morning, and from 5 till about 9, he's a cleaner in some big, huge office building, and he cleans that till 9 o'clock in the morning. Then he stocks shelves in a big supermarket from 10 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. He does that for 8 hours, right? And then he leaves that, comes home, sleeps for a couple hours, and then there's another cleaning gig for 2 hours somewhere that he does. That takes him to 10, 11 p.m. at night. He comes back home, sleeps for a few hours, and it's time to repeat that cycle all over again. He did that for years. He was undocumented, and so he was working with somebody else's credentials, right? This guy did that for 10 freaking years, right? Saved up so much money, £30,000 plus. One morning, he's left his last job of the day and was going home to go put his head to rest so that he could get up and then start the whole cycle again. Those of you who live in London know that there's a double-decker bus. You can sit on the bottom or you can sit at the top. He was so tired, and he thought, he didn't want to inconvenience the people on the bottom row, so he went upstairs And on the very front seat of the bus, there's this huge bar that you can rest your arms on and put your head down and catch, a little bit of a nap on the journey. So that's what he did, right? The bus driver went on the whole route from A to Z and got to the end of the route. This guy should have gotten off ages ago. He'd been doing this journey time after time, and the people that were regular drivers on that route had come to know him, where he got on, where he got off. Except that day, he didn't get off where he was supposed to be getting off. The driver thought it was odd, but he thought, maybe today he's changed his mind. He got to the last stop, the bus garage, and the guy was still up there. Like everybody else had gotten off the bus, and he was still there. The guy went upstairs, shouted, screamed, raved, nothing. He poked him a little bit, and the whole person dropped. Long story short, he was dead from exhaustion. This guy had been repeating his lifestyle for 10 years, managed to save 30 to 35,000 pounds, but he was a dead man. The people that knew him said that he had bought a plot of land back home in Ghana and was building the biggest house that you can think about ever, with the dream that, let me just do this for another 2 to 3 years and maybe I can get this money to 50 to 60,000 pounds and then I can just leave and go home for good. He never made it. He never did. There's somebody also who had stuck in England for 35 years, worked hard, built his house, huge mansion in Kumasi in the Ashanti region. Yes, made it. Metal gates, the top of the cladding of the gates was all golden and everything looked like a presidential palace almost. The very first day the guy got there to sleep in his house, he was attacked by armed robbers. They shot him dead. 2-3 months later, they put him in a hearse and brought him into the house, laid him in state for a couple hours, went to dump him in the bushes somewhere, and that was the end of him. What is the sense in working hard like that, depriving yourself of the good things of life, working hard for this future that is not even a guarantee, and not living the moment by moment? Kwame Young says, Sika, I can't agree with you less. I've always been living by a code which guides me to be economical with resources. That is, if you're not earning like them, don't spend like them. But this doesn't prevent me from eating good food, putting on what I want to put on. It's just a matter of doing things in accordance with the resources available at my disposal. Because failure to take good care of yourself by being so obsessed with savings is tantamount to being a suicidal mission. Sometimes spoil yourself. Guys, my brother couldn't have put everything that I wanted to say to you this morning any better than he's done. We are all guilty of this. Even I am guilty of such. And it is why we're having this conversation this morning. Right? You come and you think that you have, like you're stronger than King Kong himself. You've got the whole world on your shoulders and you can do anything that you set out to do. I can make it happen. I'm Superwoman or Superman. Yes, everybody else made mistakes, but I ain't going to make the same mistakes that everybody else has made. But sometimes it makes sense to listen to the advice of the old, because it helps and guides you and shapes you to make better informed decisions so that you don't go on that same journey that people before you, tried to pursue and it did not have a happy ending. Guys, I love you guys so much. I want us all to succeed and thrive. Of course I do. But what I'm saying to those of us who have made the choice to live our countries of origin, in this dream of a better life. And yes, of course, there are opportunities, and you must seize them, and so you should. But in that quest to share and to seize the opportunities, guys, in that quest to seize the opportunities, also make time for your own self. Be kind to yourself too, right? Especially when you've come to a new place, you can't find a job, life is difficult, things are hard, you don't know your left from your right. You suddenly find a job and you think that you have all the strength that 50 million people have. Any overtime shift that comes, your name is the first one on the list. Yes, because you know how to work harder than everybody else can. Everybody else is lazy but you. Working hard is good. Making money, good. Having a savings pot, good. But I'm saying that in the midst of all of that, make time to enjoy the moment by moment, because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Some of you have been living in the US for 15, 20 years now. You've never stepped foot in Ghana before. You've never even dreamt of going on a holiday, right? When your children say to you, "Oh, mommy, we want you to take us to Disney. We want to have the experience of Disney World." What do you say to them? You think money grows on trees. That is just a waste of time and frivolous way of doing things. When the white people are doing things, when the westernized people are doing things, you think I have time to do the same things that they do. That is what you say to your children, innit? Right? All the time. There's never a time that you go away with your family. Sometimes, except to go to Africa. Yes, go to Nigeria for 6 weeks and come back. Go to Ghana for 6 weeks and come back. That is your idea of going on a holiday. The kids have spring break, Christmas break, whatever break. There is never any intention to take the kids anywhere. Do fun things with your children. Get to know them. A lot of you are living with children that you've just had because it's a rite of passage. Everybody is having children, so you've also just had them. But do you actually enjoy these children that you've had? There's zoos, there are parks, there's water features, there are all sorts of things that kids love to get involved in. And they want to have that experience with you as their parents. When was the last time you took your child out on a date somewhere? You know what? Today is a gadget-free day. No Wi-Fi, no mobile phones, nothing. We're just going to be us, and we're going to allow our children to feel like they're human. It's always go and do your homework, go play with your iPad and leave me alone. And you're busy thinking about that next overtime shifts that you're going to get to do. You don't have time for your children. This is the diaspora living. But I'm saying to you that if you don't take that time to enjoy the moment by moment, it passes you by. And then you turn around and become very bitter and resentful of your own self, because then you've realized that you've made a stupid mistake, but there's no going back and righting the wrongs that you've made. I work hard. I do. I have been working like a donkey for the last 6 months. But you know what? Because of my experiences that I told you guys about yesterday, I have learned the big lesson of listening to myself and my body when it's talking to me. Today, my body says, I don't want to wake up at 6 o'clock and start work at 7. Today, I'm not in that zone. You better listen and take a break, because I ain't doing this no more. That's what my body has said to me. So I listened. I said, okay, I'll be kind to you. This morning is for us to be together. And some of the time I'm spending with you guys, and I'm super excited about that, right? I have chosen to listen to myself. There's always money to be made. Always. There will always be opportunities for you to get richer, have a bigger bank account. But what a lot of us forget is that you have to be alive first to make the money. You have to be alive first to enjoy that money. There will never be enough money. Never. So it comes down to you learning the art of contentment. When you know and can say with hand on heart that you've done the best that you can do. That is that. And apart from Kwame Young and Mr. Sampson, I guess there's nobody else who's engaged in this conversation. Like I'm just talking to myself, right? It feels that way. If you really want to talk, then let's talk. Let's have a conversation. This is a dialogue. It's not for me to just come and shout it and make noise and leave. I really want this to be an interactive conversation, guys. But it is something that is very sad that I've observed that a lot of us are doing. Pablo, I'm doing very well. But I've chosen to be kind to myself today. And I'm going to be kind to myself from now onwards. There will be days when I have to push boundaries and work hard. But there's also days when I have to say to myself, my body wants rest. And so I'm giving my body that rest. I've had dreadful nights for the last couple of days. I was so exhausted. I am just so grateful to God that I managed to get a few hours of just sound sleep. I cannot begin to tell you how grateful I am for that. Because there's nothing worse than working so hard and can't even have the peace of mind to sleep at night. I'm telling you, nothing. I'm super excited that I can at least go to my own bed and put my head to the pillow and sleep. See, God bless you for sharing that video. I love you. Mwah. When was the last time you went on holidays? I'm asking you guys a question. When was the last time? Sleep is good medicine. I tell you, you can't buy it with money. But how many of us even get 5-6 hours of sleep a night? And you're in your 40s, you're in your 30s, and you're surprised that you're 45 and suddenly you're popping pills because your blood pressure has gone up. You're surprised. Life is so unfair. Why is this happening to me? Why wouldn't this happen to you? Who should it happen to? This body that you're in is a vehicle, right? And just like everything, that car that you've got parked outside, don't take it for any checks for 1 year. And let's see whether you still have a car to drive, right? It always needs oil change. You have to check the brake fluid. You have to do this. You have to see whether the shock absorbers are all right. You don't want no smoke coming from the exhaust. There's always something. How much more this that you're living in? This is the vessel that is carrying you and allowing you to do the things that you love to do. Why wouldn't you take care of that? Why? I know people who live in diaspora, and for 2-3 weeks straight, you're eating rice. Every single day, it's rice. Rice with ground pepper and sardine. That's what you guys eat, living out of a tin every day for 3 weeks straight. What kind of life is that? A lot of people, a lot of us think that taking your kids once a fortnight or once a month, right, to a restaurant and letting the kids learn how to sit in public and eat is for affluent people. You are spoiling the children. This is wasteful living. When are you ever going to live that life then? What is the point of working so hard if you can't even enjoy the moment by moment experiences all around you? What's the point? Right? When a farmer plants, he also enjoys the farm produce and keeps the seed for the next farming season. No farmer sells all his farm produce without enjoying too. Funny enough, if you can't enjoy the fruit of your own sweat by enjoying, but trying to be the savior who wants to save because you want to be the family financier, you will die in the same family. And those friends you are spending all your resources on would one day say, after your exit, that after all, what? Self-love first. Kwame Young, God bless you. I salute you, sir. Absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. Right? Ghana is not the only place that you have to go live, you know. Ghana isn't the only country that you have to go visit. Nigeria is not the only, just because your family or your ancestry or your origin is from there, it doesn't mean that every single damn holiday has to be there. And truly speaking, is that even a holiday? Because you go there and it's like it's a tax collecting experience. I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, I need to go home. And then I think about all the people that are expecting that I have to bring them something when I come home. And that is a deterrent for me right there, because I could never afford that trip. So you know what? I'm not coming. I can't afford it. By the time I've booked my flights and bought something for 100 people that I know, what money would I have left to even feed myself on this vacation? So-called vacation. What money would I have left? Eh? What am I supposed to do? So you know what? I'm not coming. Hello, Auntie Betty. Mwah. Thank you so much. Auntie, I've been slaving like a dog, like a bulldog. And today I said, you know what? No. Yes, I will work, but I'm not working for 12 hours, 13 hours. For what? Why? And you know what? I'm so excited that I actually have a boss that will tell me on a weekly basis, I think you're pushing your luck here. I don't know what you're doing this for, but you're not going to score any brownie points for doing what you're doing. Girl, are you crazy? Like in 15, 20 years from now, you wouldn't be able to do half of the things that you should be doing now. So I understand you want to work hard and get ahead. I get that. And I'm not saying don't, but I'm just saying be sensible about it. Right? That is all that I'm saying. Guys, I was 25, some 15, 16, 17 years ago. Today, I'm not 25 no more. Today, I'm almost 42. Right? And the things that are going on in my body, I cannot begin to describe them to you. I come and I sit here and I put up a brave face and I'm laughing. But behind the scenes, I know what I go through on a daily basis. Right? I have health issues. I haven't hidden any of that away from you guys. You know, I'm not going there. But the last couple years, especially the last 12 months, it's been, that's all I'm going to say. It's been hellish for me. And I can't go into why. So let's just leave it at that. It's been hellish. So you know what? Then my body tells me, girl, you're pushing your luck, okay? I've been quiet and been silent and allowed you to misbehave enough. I'm not doing it anymore. So you better listen or I'm just going to stop. If my body chooses to stop and have a big rant and rave with me, can I afford that? I can't. I can't. Unlike some of you back home, wherever you are listening to me, you might have, a fallback position. That is, you go back home and there's a mom who's built a huge mansion and you can go live in that. I ain't got that. There's no huge mansion anywhere. This is it. So, yes, work hard to stay and have a roof over my head, but at the same time, be sensible about it. There's a lot of people that have built houses that they don't even live in. You've rented an apartment and you're not even living in the apartment because you're always working like a donkey. Some people are building hotels in Africa and you live here. I don't understand. I don't understand. You know, you have 100,000 Canadian US dollars in your bank account and you're in a shack in somebody's semi-rented accommodation, and you're squeezed up in somebody's something and you're not even comfortable. Where are we taking all these things to? Where are we going? I was guilty of this until I recently sent money to a friend who was asking me for a little support, and the comment that he passed broke me down. I'm just a year in Europe, and for the past 5 months, I haven't saved anything for myself because I've always been extending a helping hand. But God did the magic by using a friend. Oh, Kwame Young, you're describing. You make me laugh so hard. This is what some of us have been spending our time doing. Every time somebody calls you about their mess and you're thinking, oh, at least, I can make money, I can work hard. Maybe that person is in a situation where even if they were willing to work, well, maybe the opportunity to work isn't there, blah, blah, blah. They're building houses for the caretakers and house helps to enjoy. Where is the sense in this, guys? Where is the sense in that? Owning a house is good. Of course it is. But there's no way I'm building a house back home when I don't live in a house here. It doesn't make any sense, guys. It really doesn't. Because in this situation that I'm in right now, and if I'm being realistic, hand on heart, when am I ever going to go back to living? I've been living here for almost 20 years now. What am I going back home to? Right? I love my parents. I love my Auntie Betty who is watching me, and we're all having a good time here. And I wish I could split myself in half and put half of me there and half here, but I can't. This is where I'm at. So if I can't spend time enjoying my life here, and I'm dreaming of this life that may happen in 10, 15, 20 years to come, it's just very silly. I've seen people work their ass off here, have huge mansions worth millions of dollars back in Ghana, and they're stuck in a shack here on their own. Nobody to talk to. It doesn't make any sense. And a lot of us Africans in this so-called diaspora are caught between a rock and a hard place. Because we want to eat our cake and have it, right? We want to live in Africa, but we also want to live here. You've got to make a decision and a choice, guys. That's what you have to do. And this is one lesson that an aunt of mine in England, she said, I've been living here since I was 18. I'm 52 now. Right? I've been living in England since I came as an 18-year-old. I'm 50 plus. When am I ever going to live in? My husband's here. My daughter is here in university. My daughter is never coming to live in Africa for good. Never. So you know what she does? When she feels like going home, she goes to rent a house for a month or however long she's there. Enjoys the house, does everything she wants to do. And when it's time, she leaves. But she makes sure that she has a house where she lives. Her daughter has a nice, lovely room to herself to be a kid in, and she has a decent life. You've learned your lesson the hard way. your friend told you, so you can't even send me just 500 Ghana cedis. Wow. Mm-hmm. She doesn't even know how long it takes you to make that 500 Ghana cedis, does he? He's even lucky you sent him. I've had people cry to me about how desperate their lives are. I'm slaving away. Sometimes even borrowing money I can't even afford because I feel that other people's life is a hell of a lot worse than mine. Sticking monies on credit cards for somebody else to have a so-called decent meal and a life. And some of those people take that money that they've got from me, working hard and slaving away, denying and depriving myself of the niceties of life. I can't even remember the last time I took $100 of my own hard-earned money and gone shopping. I work hard for the bloody money. I should be able to do whatever the hell I want with my money. But I can't remember the last time that I did that. I'm still wearing the same old clothes that I've owned for 5-6 years. Some of them deserve to go in a bin. But I'm still holding on to them because I can't afford to buy decent clothes because I've been helping other people. Kindness of your heart. And guess what? The big turnaround point came for me when somebody told me that after crying to me as if they're going to die, I didn't have it at that time because I was doing other things. I go grab money from a pot that I have to pay back plus interest. But I thought, you know what? I would do that because this person is at death's door. She's dying. Person took the money, took it out, put it in an envelope, and went to give it to a so-called pastor because they have to do handshake and sow seed and give tithe and whatever the hell else. That is when I told myself, I am such a fool. I am so bloody stupid for making such a mistake, and I'll never do it again. That was the turning point for me. It hurt me to the core. And I said, you know what? We're done. Ain't never going to happen. I don't care if your great-grandmothers, grandfathers, sisters, boyfriends, uncles, nieces dying. That's your problem. You go fix your life. I'm fixing mine. That's not called being me. That's not called being selfish or wicked or whatever the hell you guys want to say. That's just called having common sense. That's what that is. Because if I'm sitting here depriving myself of things just so that I can lend a helping hand to you, and that's what you're going to say to me, we're done. We are done. Right? So, Kwame, you're not the only one. I don't want to start with that. I don't want to go there. The least said, the better. The only people who deserve anything from me are my family. I know the sacrifices that people have made in order for me to be sat here today. I know. And so those people, of course, they deserve that. I would much rather go and sit on my Auntie Betty's lap, have the biggest hug ever, sit on the floor and eat banku and pepper. I don't care if there's no fish. I don't care. Than to do what I did again. I've learned my lesson the hard way. Tori, how are you, darling? I hope you're doing well. So, guys, you better learn valuable lessons, you know. Those of you sitting in the States, in Europe, and things, and people call you, Ghanaians are the biggest actors ever that I've known. I've seen people pick up a telephone. A guy pick up a telephone and be calling some girl or some woman that he's known in the past in Europe or Canada or the States or whatever. This guy is busy having a fun time. He even has a woman sucking his dick whilst he's on that phone talking to you. Sorry, but I'm just going to say it as it is. Oh, see, I don't have any money. Oh, if you could just send me some. I don't even feel too well this month. And he's getting, serviced. I don't have any money. Oh, my voice. Can't you hear it in my voice? It sounds like I'm losing my voice. Oh, I'm dying. Yes, he's dying. You are servicing him and whoever he's with, buying them drinks and everything that they need to survive. But he knows that he can play on your emotions like that by telling you that he doesn't have any money. And because you feel sorry for them, you would go ahead and do it. A lot of people don't even have no empathy for you, thinking about the things that you've had to go through in order to give them the set thing. No empathy whatsoever. Oh, Tori, thank you, darling. Mwah. It's hard. It really, really is. But you see me, I've learned my lesson the hard way. So like I said, the people who deserve to benefit, they are few. They are the same people who were marking YX scripts at 3 o'clock in the morning when they should have been sleeping to make sure that my school fees was paid. The same people who were wearing the same old tattered clothes with one shoe and two slippers to make sure that I got what I should get. Those same people, they are the ones who deserve anything because they've invested, they've sown sweat, blood, tears, name it. Anybody else? Sorry. I don't know who instituted the perception that if you don't go back to build a 5 or 7 bedroom mansion, you're a failure living abroad. I don't know either. But like I said, until I can afford to own a house of my own here, I don't care about anything going on there. I don't live there. I've said to my family, God forbid, I don't know what's going to happen. But if I drop there tomorrow, please don't waste no money taking me to no Ghana. Doesn't make no sense. Wherever it happens, leave me there. I've told my family this. I'm not even hiding it. This is no secret. I'm telling you guys. God forbid bad thing. If I die tomorrow, and it can happen, bury me right here. This is where I'm here. This is where I'm at. Oh, mwah. My big sister of mine is in the house. Right? Bury me right here. Don't bother taking my nothing to anywhere. Right here. Say your goodbyes here. If you can't come, you can't come. And I'm sure there's a place here in Canada that can fit a 6-foot box with me in it and dumped somewhere. And that's the end of it. Right? No wasting of money on unnecessary nonsense. It doesn't make any sense at all. There is no point in living abroad and eating sardine and fried rice and anwamu, rice that you fry in a pot, then you put some onions and then you pour water on it and allow it to simmer with hot pepper, no fish. Sometimes if you're lucky, 1 egg. And people have been eating that staple diet for 3 weeks in a row just to save 30,000 pounds and die and leave it behind. It does not make no sense to me, does it? So every month now, I have decided based on the things that are happening to me now, that every month, if I make $100, $10 of that money is to treat me, to make me, appease me for putting myself through that hassle. Otherwise, it feels like I've cheated myself out of something and it makes me mad. And when you're mad, you're bitter, you're angry, you're frustrated, there is no good thing that comes out of here for you to do anything. That is my decision right now, because I know what I've put myself through, right? Elevated blood pressure, you're feeling silly things that you shouldn't be feeling. Sister Amma, the things that I'm going through, and I would tell my big sister privately, she knows some of them. She does. I am not going to be doing this anymore. Otherwise, I'm just bitter all the time. I'm just angry all the time because of that. Because I'm not living. I'm slaving away, working hard, and I can't even see my money. Right? I fancy, grilled salmon with some, I don't know, wild rice and some wild vegetables. And I can't afford to buy that. But I'm sending money to somebody that is happily eating fufu and soup and having fun in Ghana. I'm sorry. Ain't going to happen anymore. Not going to happen. You made a video this afternoon and it almost made you cry. I have cried and woken up already. Guys, it's just, yeah, I'm sorry, but that is just my decision from now onwards. Every damn little thing that I earn, 10% of that at least is for appeasing me, to do something for me. I'm not wearing torn clothes anymore just to appease somebody else that doesn't even add an ounce of anything to my life anymore. It's not going to happen. The sun is out now, right? I should have been sitting here working 13-hour days. And before I turn around, the sun is gone. And then I have to go back to bed to repeat it tomorrow. Ain't going to happen. There has to be some balancing. You have to appease your soul, right? What you're doing has to appease you because you're the one that's working hard. So if I'm making $100 and I can't even take $10 out of that to buy lip gloss for my cracked lip. Yeah. Those of you who have children in the diaspora, what are you doing with your children? Is everything going to have to be a waste of money for you? You can't even afford to buy a plastic bowl, a huge plastic thing. It looks like a mini pool that you can put in your backyard and fill it with water so your kids can jump around and splash and be happy. People think like holiday has to be this fancy thing that is so fantastic, and it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be that. There is a zoo here. Right? Zoo. I've never seen any African parents taking their kids to the zoo. It's always Caucasian. Maybe Eastern Indian and Orientals. I have yet to see people that look like me taking their kids to that place on a regular. If it's not a school trip or whatever, I want to see parents do that with their children. How many? Oh, you think this life is a circus? If I don't work hard, how are you going to have a house to live? Don't come and talk to me. That is a bloody waste of time. That is what you hear African parents say. But if you're having children and you're not prepared to spend time with them, why are you having them? Why? Why do you have children? A lot of you behave as if having children is a rite of passage. Yes, I'm 25 now. I'm 30 now. So I ought to have. Amma Manson has children. Teresa has children. Adjo Odo has children. I also have to pass that test. I must also have a child. You have these children and you treat them as if they're an inconvenience in your life. Why did you bother having them? Why? You could have been happily enjoying your life. Why did you bother? Why? And then you put them in the cage. It's as if there's some dog on a leash. Why? Why? The sun is all out. Look out there. That's the sun. I don't have no lights on. It's the sun. It's out. What are you doing with it? The kids just want you to be home half a day so they can see their mom or dad for a change. But no, you have to work hard and go buy land in East Legon or wherever in Nigeria, in Edo State or whatever state it is. And then, people have to know that we live abroad. You see, we must put up a 3-story building with 15 bedrooms that you will never live in. Doesn't make no sense. Know someone who owns a house that is probably worth 2 to 3 million US dollars. It's under lock and key. There's nobody living in it. That person is living in the West somewhere, miserable, caught between a rock and a hard place. Doesn't want to go live in that mansion, but wants to live in the mansion. Doesn't make any sense. Don't make that mistake. You've put £50,000, $50,000 in your savings account. Which part of that money is going towards your retirement here? Because this is where you are. I live in a place where there's something called Registered Retirement Savings Plan. How many of us even know what that is? Let alone even thinking, conceiving the thought of maybe starting something like that. Because a lot of us think we're going to be 40 forever. We're going to be 25. Amma Manson's going to be 24 forever and a day, okay? She's been celebrating her birthday for the last 3 years and she's still 24, okay? How many of us are even thinking about that time? Because I can smell it from there. It's closer than you say. Forever 24, I can see that. Right? How many of us think about that? But whether you like it or not, retirement is coming to you. It is. You can make it an enjoyable experience or otherwise. So you've got the principle of hustling hard, yes. But you're not looking after the shell, the body, the vessel that is carrying you back and forth and allowing you to do the said things. Not looking after that. Your mental health, it needs to do something different out of the ordinary every day. Otherwise, it just becomes a very mundane experience. No change. Can you imagine that African women think that going to have massage when you're back, my back is killing me, I actually need to go get one of these days myself. Think that getting massage is a luxury. But I'm working 12, 13 hours, 6 days a week. Do you know how many hours that is? By the time I'm done, my ass, my back, my everywhere is as if it's on fire. So if I can't use some of that, then what is the point? What does it profit a man to have the whole world and lose your soul? People think that it's only got a spiritual connotation, but to me, it's a very practical verse too. You're working hard. You live in the diaspora, but you won't buy tilapia for yourself. You will never buy salmon for yourself. It is always hard chicken. Hard chicken, 3 for £10. Yes. That is all. Your kids have eaten hard chicken till hard chicken is growing out of their nostrils and their mouths because that is all you ever eat. never have any other experience. You don't take your kids to enjoy Indian cuisine, Chinese cuisine, like experience different things. No, but you live in diaspora and your kids are still behaving like kids back in Africa because they've not been exposed to anything. Look, education is not just about formal education where you sit in a classroom and somebody tells you 1+1 is 2. There's informal education too. That is equally, if not more important. Important for you to see how other people are living and see whether there's certain things, a thing or two that you can pick up that would help you. Can't you see that the so-called Caucasians that you're rubbing shoulders with, sit in the same offices with, they have a different mindset to you? It's not because they're stupid. It's because that's what the body actually does need. And so every year without fail, they take at least a week or two to de-stress and do something outside of the ordinary for a reason. But we Africans, we live in diaspora for 10 years, same place. We don't even know the city we live in that well. All we know is go to work, come home. Go to work, come home. Go to supermarket, come home. Go to church, come home. Finished. African lifestyle. How many of you can tell me 10 things of interest that you have done in the city that you live in since you moved there? At least I live in Calgary, in Alberta, and I've been to Banff twice. Been to the zoo. I go walking downtown on my own. I just want to explore and see what the buildings are like. I used to work there, so every day I would go out for a walk and I'll find another building. I'm like, oh, this building is there too. Yes, but how many of us? How many? Amma, you crack me up, you do. Many people, mental health has retired from learning and allowing others to make decisions for them. That's just stupid. Funny to see how people take real serious care of their Benzes, their Hondas, and be my wives. I know, but seem to be so careless about themselves as humans. I wonder if they prioritize these assets over themselves. I know that some people think that money is more important. The things that they have are more important than they themselves. Yeah, they do. I know. Why am I going to see the cousins that I just left in the jungle? But even when they were in the jungle, you didn't pay attention to them there. You didn't. I remember growing up, my dad would take us to the zoo in Accra and we'll come back and you know how young kids, you're talking about your holidays and what you did. And people will say, hey, Dadaba, you guys are spoiled brats. You're so lucky. Your parents don't know what to do with their time, so they take you to zoo to go see animals. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? You live in Kumasi. You know where Kente is woven, right? In a village called Bonyure. Have you ever been there? I don't come from Kumasi. I live there. I was brought up there. I've been there several times. Taken different people there several times. Right? We have a water irrigation plant. That's what serves all the water for the whole, Ashanti metropolis and beyond. That place, irrigation works several times. It's a visit to a place that is not my house. The only 2 regions that I haven't been able to get to out of the 10 that were there before, it's now 16 and I can't get my head around that, But when it was 10, it's the two uppermost regions. And they're the only two that I haven't stepped foot in. I haven't been that far. But I intend to. Because growing up, my parents couldn't afford to fly us out of the country. But at least in that country, we went somewhere every time, from Cape Coast to Takoradi to Abuadze to Akosombo to name it. Our villages, just name it. My mom's Togolese, so I've been there too. How many of you Ghanaians can even say that you know anything outside of Accra, if that's where you grew up? Tell me. And even in Accra, have you been to Nkrumah Museum? Have you been to the Art Center? You just think that those things are for Caucasians or Igbo people. Let them do that. It's just eating, sleeping. Go and squeeze, go into some awkward place and have some boy use their dirty hands to squeeze your boobs. That's all you know. Not enjoying the moment by moment, experiences. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So now you're at death's door and you're lying there helpless. And you're now thinking about all the things that you could have, should have, would have done differently if you had the opportunity to. But you did have the opportunity, but you never did. Even worse is diasporan men. Diasporan men. You come live here, you meet somebody, whether they're African or not, doesn't even matter. Knock her up. She's got a bunch of kids. You're married, you've acquired assets, you've worked hard. And this woman thinks that you're her ride or die. Now that you've made the money, now that you're somebody, you go back to Africa, go knock somebody else up there and start a second family with that somebody, like over there, and create more mess for yourself. And I've seen people live that life. The women are also not stupid. So the ones here would find out that you've gone to knock somebody up in Africa and you've broken their heart and you've literally told them they're stupid. So they leave. And thankfully, we live in a system that does not condone anybody feeling like they've been cheated out of anything. So now she drags your ass to the court and half of everything you've worked for is given to her. Compensation for her hard work. And now you're bitter. But you forgot that you made the mess. You started the mess, right? And I've seen people do that. And now in old age, they're on their own. On their lonesome, right here in diaspora, caught between a rock and a hard place. Do I go back to Africa at 75, 80 years? What am I going to? Like, yeah. But here, you had everything. You chose to flush it down the toilet. So it's gone. So now you don't have it anymore. No family, no wife, no nothing. And I've seen people working into their 70s because they've got nothing else to do. They've got millions stashed away, invested in assets and all of that. Still don't have no happy life. So you see, money is good. I'm never going to tell you money is bad. Money is good. If you have the opportunity to make money, make it. But be sensible about it. Money is good. Very good, actually. Make money. Save money. But enjoy the moment by moment whilst you're making that money. And be sensible about it all. I've been to the Botanical, the Bronx Zoo, multiple museums, Six Flags, gone to movies with some family members, some friends, went to Splashdown Water. Good. You're my kind of girl, and I love you. Now, how many of us, Sister Joe Domensa, haven't you heard anybody in our community that knows that you've done the things that you're telling me that you're doing, who say to you that, oh, as for you, you've become a westernized woman and you're behaving like them, and this is such a waste of time. You have so much time on your hands and you don't know what to do with it. Haven't you had anyone say that to you? Because you've chosen to enjoy the moment by moment where you live. People see my sister Amma showing us Dubai. What is she doing? What is all of this? What is it? This is such a waste of time. Why is she doing this? She lives there. What is she supposed to do? Be stuck indoors all the time? Is she a dog? Why shouldn't she go out there and enjoy the moment? Why? Why? Why not? Did you know you could even camp outside in your own backyard? Did you know that? Do you know that you can camp in your... People think that doing something... There's something called staycation. Staycation. You can be in your house and still be on holiday. Did you know that? You guys are just living in houses that you're not even putting to good use. I don't know why you have the house. Did you know that? You can go in a 40, 48 or 72-hour freeze. You turn off your phones and put it somewhere with your children and have a staycation in your backyard. Did you know that? If you think you don't have money, you can't afford Lala, you can still have vacation, staycation in your houses. How many of you are even open to that idea? Go out there, buy camping stuff, stick it out your own backyard. Pump up beds, everything, the full works in your own backyard and sleep there overnight. It is still a vacation. Ordering, no cooking, ordering. It is still a vacation. It is something that you've done out of the ordinary. That's all the kids are asking for. That is all that your own body is asking you to do. Right? Couples in the diaspora, how many of you would go book yourself into a hotel for the weekend with your husband, your partner, your boyfriend, your other half? Just get away from home. It isn't that you don't have a house. That's not the point. But there is a different feeling that comes from doing the same things that you do in your bedroom in a hotel. In your house, there might be children like Amma Manson's kids that don't have any let's have boundaries and can always open the door to see what mommy and daddy are doing. But when you go to that hotel and it's just the two of you, you can choose to do kangaroo style, monkey style, mosquito style, chicken style, lizard style, and tumble over the whole room. It's a room that you've booked for whatever time. It's yours. Amma Manson doesn't have to go to kitchen with a napkin on one side, sweating like a pregnant fish, trying to cook anything for anybody. You can order in room service. How many of you are open to that idea? How many? How many of you have even tried it before? Tell me. How many of you do a thing like that? With the £100,000 and the 50,000 and the 30,000 and even the £2,000 that you have saved up in your savings account, would you contemplate that idea? Would you? Amma says she doesn't even cook anymore. But how many of you? Just for 2 days. Do you know how much of a spicing that will bring to your marriage and relationship, because you've just done something out of the ordinary. How many of you? Oh, but I don't know what to do with the children. You think it's all just easy. You're just saying it. You think it's easy. If you start thinking it, you can do it. Where I live here, there's so many nannies that have had their police certified, their everything certified. They're not going to kill your children. They'll have your kids, they'll come live with your kids for 3 days for a fee, obviously. And you guys can take off for a weekend and just be you for yourselves for 2 days. No children, no nothing, just you. You need it. Otherwise, your life just becomes so mundane. It's all about the children. It's all about every time for years. 20 years comes and passes. Your kids have grown up. They've left home. Now you guys are living like strangers. And I've seen that too. I know couples who got married. The guy was earning a lot of money. So the woman had to sacrifice once they started having children by staying at home. She stayed at home for years, 10 years, until the kids were old enough to, do little things for themselves. Now the woman can't even easily get back into work. She doesn't even know what to do with herself. So she remains staying at home. Husband and wife have grown apart. To the husband, the wife is now just that woman that is home, that cooks a meal, gives me a warm bed to sleep in. I can have sex on demand. No emotions attached. It's just a mundane thing. I have an erection. I need to stick it somewhere. So it's got to go somewhere. So she's available. So yeah, stick it in there. And bish, bash, bosh, you're done. Bye-bye. Over and over and over and over again. 20 years later, the kids have left. They're all in university, busy living their lives. And you guys are living like strangers. And I've seen that. And I've seen people who were happily married. 25 years, they're divorced. And you ask the guy, and I don't know my wife anymore. Like, we don't have anything in common anymore. She doesn't excite me anymore. So they're done. I have seen it. Right? So guys, we all come to the diaspora with all kinds of intentions. Exciting. It sounds like you're on top of the world to start with. But it doesn't take very long before you realize that this whole big thing that you thought was something was nothing more than some crazy idea that you fantasized about, and it's not even what you think it should be. So please, I'm begging you, make hay whilst the sun shines. Do you. Do the things that make you happy. Don't stick it anywhere. Oh my, it's so funny. People say that you're not Christian. Who cares? Who decides who is Christian? I was having this very conversation with my dad a couple of days ago, probably on Sunday or Monday. And he was saying, a Christian is whoever says he's Christian, because there's no way of defining who a Christian is whoever says they're Christian. So if you're kind, does that make you Christian? Huh? If you go to church, does that make you Christian? A Christian is anybody who says they're Christians. Guys, don't make the same mistake. I'm so grateful that my own body has made me catch myself. But now that I've caught myself, yes, I have to work hard because there are things that need doing. But at the same time, I have learned that I need to be kind to myself whilst working hard. Thanks be to God, I have one or two very good friends here. One particular one is more of a sister than a friend. I impose myself on her without even giving her notice. I'm just like, I'm coming. Whether she's ready for me, not ready for me, I'm coming. That's it. I'm yet to see her close her door and tell me I can't come. You know? Got to enjoy the moment by moment. Like, do find things that would make you happy and do them. And put yourself first all the time. It's not selfishness, it's self-love. And it makes sense to do that. So guys, the word to the wise is enough. Like, do you, but be sensible about what you're doing. Because that story that I told you guys yesterday of this woman that had worked hard for years, 30 years, working, slaving away, saving up money, depriving herself of the niceness of life in England, only to end up in the end, just when, retirement is here, of incurable cancer, battling it for years and finally dying. This huge mansion that she built, she never went to live in. All these toys and intention of having a nursery back in Ghana to keep herself occupied in old age, she never opened nursery. Who is going to sit on those chairs and read those stories to the kids? Who? She's dead. And on death's door, she's now regretting all of that and wishing that she had done things differently. Don't let that be you. Do not let that be you. Hard work is important. It is. Hard work is very important. Do you? On Judgment Day, God will be the judge, and those judging you will be the judge of their judgment against you with their limited, shallow mindsets. Who is Christian? Because some people's attitude as a Christian, I think I'd much rather have an atheist that behaves like a normal human being than a Christian, so-called Christian. That ain't. It's as if Christianity is some skirt and blouse or trousers and skirt suit or trouser suit that people wear. And I call those people religious, not humans. There's a big difference. What is the point of knowing the word if the word is not something that can be applicable to life? What's the point? What is the point? We're all accountable to somebody, some higher source. Let's let him be the one who we are accountable to. Leave everybody the hell alone to live their lives, okay? We've all got this. And my father brought us up saying that you should have a moral compass that helps you to navigate and guide you in this life by. So if you're not mature enough to have that and to use that, then that ain't nobody else's problem but yours. I love you guys so much. And I hope that somebody has heard what I've said. Acquire sensible assets that are going to give you a safe landing in old age. There is no point in saving £60,000, £100,000, whatever pounds in your account and have nothing and not enjoy the moment by moment. You have 60,000 pounds in savings, but you can't take 2,000 pounds and treat yourself to something with your spouse or whatever. What's the point? A cheap tickets to the States from here for $300. Go do something else. Go see an old friend or cousin that you wish you'd seen. Do something else. But stop living this life and thinking you can press pause on the lifetime that you have here and then press play again when the time comes. Life is too short, you know. It can be so short. A word to the wise is enough. I love you guys so much. I can't wait to hang out with you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Amma. Thank you, Sister Jodo, Tori, Kwame, all of you guys. I love you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Mami Petra, all of you. You guys are amazing. Eric Ofe, all of you. Sister Teresa, all of you guys. Yes, Antua, I love all of you. My own Auntie Matilda, God bless you. I love you. She's called Matilda, but I call her Betty, Auntie Betty. Love Auntie Betty. Okay? A word to the wise is enough. Live the moment by moment. Yes, work hard. Yes, make money. But be sensible with what you do with your money. You absolutely do not invest money in people who are not slaving away for you when you're not doing anything to help yourself. Abigail, I love you more. Suzanne, God bless you. Sister Mamansin, you know the love is deep. Mwah. And Sebastian, thank you so much for being here. Have a lovely Friday. I love you guys. Take care. Stay beautiful. Stay amazing. And do you. Please, those of you eating rice and pepper every day, today, go and buy tilapia and grill it. Don't just take the head. Eat the tail first and enjoy it. If you fancy fufu, go and make fufu and soup. Stop eating hard chicken every day. Enough is enough. Enjoy it. Enjoy the life. Because this is all there is to it. Don't let it be said of you 10 years from now. Oh, I remember that video that this crazy, stupid looking girl made and she was talking about this setting. I now understand. And now you can't do anything about it. I'm warning you. I'm telling you. I know what I'm feeling inside of me, and I'm telling you, it doesn't make any sense. So do you, stay beautiful, enjoy life, and make hay whilst the sun shines. Okay? I'm going for a walk anyway, guys. So I'll see you guys later. I love you. Bye-bye.